Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Nathan, how are you?
I'm doing good. I just got the notification that my keyboard's about to die, so I gotta quick plug it in.
Technology at its finest.
Always a
right?
good time.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're good. Now I can use the computer for the rest of the day.
All right. Well, hopefully the rest of everyone starts coming in. Oh, we got Jessica, Matt, and Kelly. I mean, whatever. We're good to go.
And we do have it recording, so
Oh, good.
for anyone who can't make it or wants to go back, because we'll have pretty much 45 minutes of instruction today, so we'll go through it pretty quickly.
Just want to let you know they're putting in hurricane shutters next door to me, so I'll have my microphone on.
I wondered if you were by highway, what's going on, blowing, caution, get out of the ocean.
Nope.
Too funny.
It's loud.
Wait a few more minutes. We should have more people rolling in. So now have we all received, because I mean, I know I already have Flex, but I haven't seen the introduction to Rapatoni.
You may have received the introduction to Rapatoni months ago, since I think we issued your credentials a while back, but you should have access to the Rapatoni system.
And I haven't gotten anything from the Flex, so I don't have like a login or anything yet, but I did email Missy about the Rapatoni.
I may have, maybe I have the wrong, because I know I made the credentials. Let me see if I have maybe the wrong email address that I put in.
Everybody spells my last name wrong, so it wouldn't be surprising.
Jessica, you're right, because I usually get really close and I'm like, V-I-O, 2 L's.
2 L's, 2 R's.
And how do you pronounce it, Jessica?
Villarreal.
Oh, I do it right. Okay. I'm very phonetic, so I don't. I always have to ask.
It's not right how I pronounce it, but my husband is Spanish, so his family all pronounce totally different. I can't do that. So that's the way that it rolls in my house.
That's all right.
All right, Jessica, do you have, it looks like you're a member through maybe Hillsdale?
Nope.
Maybe that's not an active account.
Nathan, I am. Tom Hardwick.
Oh, hey, Tom. Perfect. Okay, Jessica, let me email you credentials real quick.
Oh. Hey Val, good to see you. Looks nice and sunny where you are.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today and being on the task force. We appreciate it.
Hello.
All right, Jessica, I just emailed those credentials over, so let me know if you receive them.
Okay.
Because otherwise I might have the wrong email address.
And depending on how long this lasts, I may have to skip out early. I have an appointment that I have to go to.
All right,
So,
yep, no problem.
So you know, I'm just gonna log out. I won't interrupt.
No worries. I have this all recording and I will make sure, probably it takes a little bit to process afterwards, but my hope is by the end of the day or early tomorrow, I can get an email out to everyone with the recording of this. Because I know not everyone's able to attend today as well.
I just sent another email. And Allison, we have your email wrong on here. But I just sent out another email to everybody just in case, you know, it's lost in the shuffle and they go, oh, it's supposed to be there.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've been working with Kelly and Nathan to get that email adjusted. So I think, and I'll make sure that you get the correct email
Perfect.
also.
And I still don't have an email from you. I did get Missy's email, but I didn't get yours.
And is Nathan on this email? Should just, maybe not. Let
me see here. Maybe check your spam folder. Is it possible it's going into spam?
I'm looking right now.
It's the JessicaVillarrealHomes.com
Yep.
or at gmail.com. You knew what I meant.
Oh, yep. Okay. I think it was in my spam.
Awesome.
I just moved it. So, okay, perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, I had another email that I sent to someone the other day and it went into spam. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but.
All right, Nathan, well, you want to get started?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So welcome, everybody. We appreciate you guys all taking the time to meet with us today. For those who we haven't met, I'm Anton Letica. I'm the CEO with Mishrick, and we have Nathan here who will be conducting the demo today, and he's our director of IT with Mishrick. And so I just wanted to jump on and say how excited we were to be welcoming Jackson into Mishrick, and we're so excited for the August launch. It can't come soon enough. So today we are going to be giving all of you a quick demo of Flex. And this will just give everybody the ability to have some knowledge with our system and how it works. And so as Nathan was just talking about, everybody should have credentials into the system, which will give you all access. It's essentially read only as of now, but it will allow you all to get kind of accustomed with our system and allow you to have access to all of the products that our agents have access to and allow you guys to test those and just get acclimated with the system. So, and just one more thing to note, Nathan is going to follow up after this meeting with contact information for him and I. We're both included on the emails that had been sent out prior, but just so you all have it in case you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free. We're here to help. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Nathan, who's going to take over.
All right. Well, I will go ahead and share my screen here. And get this set up so I can actually see faces as well. There we go. All right. So you should be able to see my screen. Excuse me. And this is just your screen when you log into Flex is probably going to look a little bit different. Mine is a little bit more customized just to how I kind of use it every day. And here on the home screen, there's lots of different customization options. It's called Flexmls for a reason. It's a very flexible system. You'll probably find me saying that many times today, and I sometimes not to say it because it kind of usually sounds weird, but Flex is very flexible. So the first place I'll start off is just work from the top down. Wherever you're at in the system, if you click on that Flexmls logo, that's going to take you back to your default home page. Right next here, we have the search bar, and there's a lot of different searches you can do in here. You can search for anyone within your contacts, anyone else who might have a Flexmls account within the Mishrick system. So you can look up contact information for other agents. You can type in address, MLS number. You can even do searches of, anything that's a, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house right in here. And you can start a search right out of that, which is fairly nice. Moving down a little bit is the menu. So we have the quick launch bar here at the top. And this bar is completely customizable to how you might want to use it. And then there's the full menu to the left of that. And this is a very searchable menu. So you can search for your contact management, anything that you're looking for in there. And then next to any of these items, there's a little small star. And if you click on that star, that's actually going to add that item into your quick launch toolbar. And so mine is pretty long here, so I added in a more option at the end. Then if you want to reorder those, you can drag and move those around and it will customize it that way. You can also remove them from there. The biggest thing here on the dashboard is, of course, the dashboard itself. So we have a couple dashboards that have been automatically created, and we're currently in the process of kind of redoing all of those dashboards. So probably what you see now and what you see when you launch here in August, or when you get your actual credentials in July, might look a little bit different, but the concept is going to be about the same. So we have a message board here that has just been put in from the MLS side. We have gadgets for any saved searches you might have. You can easily start a new search. And then we also have a gadget for hot sheets, some MLS SSO links. So launching into things like Showing Time, Realist, which is our property tax system. We have a quick option to go to our MLS help website, zipforms.loop. Everything like that is in there. Like I said, these are completely customizable, as Flex is very flexible. There we go. And so if you want to add gadgets, you certainly can. You can also create your own homepage. So if I wanted to add a dashboard, I can go in and simply just click Add Dashboard, and then it's going to give me a couple different preset options that I can use. So maybe there's just the classic homepage. Maybe I want something dedicated towards contacts, or maybe some market stats. Those are all things that, if you click on that, it will show you, exactly what gadgets would be there. Or I can just, do my own homepage. In this case, I'll just pick market stats. Once I click on that, it's going to bring in some gadgets for me, and then it will have created that option here. I have multiple from other older trainings. But in each of these gadgets, it can be customized to a specific area. So if I want to look at the inventory for a specific area within Mishrick, I can click on the 3 little dots within that gadget, go to my settings, and then I can, say inventory, new listings. Do I have a specific location I want to pick? Let's say I want to pick the city of Holland. I can double click it to add it in, hit save, and then it will update and refresh that to show the inventory for the city of Holland for the residential property type. And so you can completely customize, one of these dashboards for your specific area. And then you can also, even though this was something that was kind of pre-created by Flex, I can go ahead and add in my own gadgets, maybe daily options like the hot sheets, or if I want those SSO links to be in there, all I have to do is just go and click add what I want, maybe some other statistics items. There's all sorts of things that it can go in there, and Flex has been working on adding more options in there as well. Once we're all set, we can go ahead and just click on Return to Dashboard, and it will add those in there. I can drag those around to put them where I want them. and you can make it, exactly what you want. And anytime you log in, it will remain that way. I can set this to be my default dashboard. So if I just click on this customize drop down, I can say make default. And then anytime I click on that Flexmls homepage, or anytime I log in, it's going to default to going to this page anytime that I do that. Any questions on the homepage? All right. The next thing that I will point out is, as most of you are fairly new to the Flex system, haven't used it before. I know, Tom, you had mentioned that you have it through Hillsdale, and so maybe you've gone in there a little bit more than some others have. I do want to point out the help options that are available. The first option is this guided help option. So pretty much no matter where you're at in the system, you can click on the guided help, and there will be, if you want to learn how to do a hot sheet, how do I run those 24-hour hot sheets, I can click on that option, and it will actually walk me through how to do that function step by step. So click on the menu, click on hot sheet. It's just going to walk me through how to perform that activity. And so that's something that's very nice as, you a new user going in there, just trying to learn, new things about the system, because obviously in our short time today, I won't be able to teach you everything that it can do. So that is a very nice option there. And Flex is working. That's a fairly new tool within Flex. And so they're expanding that as quickly as they can to increase the function of that. Additionally is the help menu. So again, no matter where you're at in the system, if you click on this help drop down up here, you can click on help with this page, and that's going to bring up just some helpful tips and tricks on anything within that page. You can, quick go to contact support, and you as a Flexmls user through us, if you want to call in right now, you can call into their, technical support, and you'll be able to get support and training through Flex. The next help option is Flexmls help. So that's actually a separate page. This is kind of where you can go and search for something. So, how do I do a CMA or contact management? So I can just type anything I want in that search bar, hit search, and it's just going to bring me up some search results. Do I want, information on the comps tab? There was, all sorts of stuff in there. Pretty much every function within the system is covered from this help.flexmls.com page. So that's a very useful tool as well. There's the Flexmls Academy, which has lots of video trainings that you can go through. Obviously, the video training library is very similar to the Flexmls Academy. So that's completely available to you as well as that contact support option. You can email support or call into support. Their support is fantastic, and I highly recommend, even if you have a chance just to call and get support, it'll give you kind of an idea. Their goal is to pick up the phone. I want to say it's within 30 seconds of anyone calling. Obviously, that can be extended if there's a bunch of people calling in, but that's, I think their average is about 15 seconds as a pickup time, which is pretty impressive for the amount of users that they have. And they're also very good about responding via email, even on nights and weekends. They're based in Fargo, North Dakota. They have support people all throughout the country. And I will get, emails back from support at, 2:30 in the morning because someone was up and just getting some work done. So what they have is very good. So moving on to the next function within Flex is just going to be the quick search function, probably one of the functions that you would use most as an agent. So that can be accessed under the menu. So we have the search header here. So things like quick search, MLS search, full address search. I just like to use the quick search, and that's what we'll go through today. The first option under our quick search that we have is it'll show right here is actually going to be kind of the base search that we have made for agents. So We have everything from, this goes by our property type list. So residential lease, multifamily, commercial lease, commercial sale, vacant land, residential. And then you also have that ability to do a cross property type search. I'm going to go ahead and choose residential. This option right here that we just picked, it's actually, the system's going to default to going back to that option next time you go to do a quick search. So one of the support calls that we get most is actually, I'm trying to search for something residential, but all I'm getting is multifamily searches. And 90% of the time it's because, last week or, Friday before, they took the weekend off, they went and did a multifamily search. And then when they came back on Monday morning to do a search, they just forgot about changing that back to residential. So all of the options that we have here are as part of our residential search, and we can add into that as well. One of the options that I will point out is the ability to search different MLSs. So the MLSs that we have available to search within our system are Greater Lansing, MI Real Source, Real Comp, and that Real Comp option will soon also include Ann Arbor as well, and then the Water Wonderland MLS up north. So you can select multiple MLSs if you'd like. You just have to hold down the control key and select the ones you want. If you're on a Mac, you hold down the command key. And when you do that, it's you can see it kind of limits the options that you have to search. And that's because not all of the MLSs have shared field names. And so we're working at kind of correcting that so we can, through kind of RESO compliance, the Real Estate Standards Organization, we're all working to have the same field names. And through that, we'll all be able to search everyone's data, very easily. But if I select just one of these, I'll be able to search all of the fields that they have available. So if I pick Lansing, I can go in and search all of the fields that Lansing has available. I'm not just restricted to, those fields that we have in common. So that is kind of a nice feature of the quick search and being able to search multiple MLSs. We can pick the status. You should be able to search all of the statuses we have available. The only one that you won't be able to search right now, I think you'll be able to search deleted. You won't be able to search deleted. And you won't be able to, I believe, search canceled or withdrawn. That will only show your listings that will have been canceled or withdrawn at the moment, which you would not have any in our system at the moment. If I pick anything that's sold, we do get another option here to pick how many, sold days back. If I click on days, that can actually change into months. If I click on months, that can go back to years. So if I want to search 366 years back of the sold status, you can certainly do that. There's two tiny little arrows right next to that input box. If you click on that, that's going to change going from, the days back, and you can actually go ahead and pick a date range if that's a little bit more helpful to you. We do have a couple different property subtypes. So in here, let's see here, I'm searching residential. So we have a couple different subtypes for our residential property type: condo, farm, single family, stock cooperative. So you can go ahead and select one of those if you want to, get specific on that. And then we have, all of our other fields that are available. So this is just pulls up a list of, some of the most common fields that we find our users searching. But if you want to search an additional field that you might not see right there, you can click on this field at the bottom, and it will pull up a list of all of the fields that we have available to search. And so if I want to find, maybe something that's a corner lot, I can click on that. It will add it into my search, and then my search will just include, and it should be updating as we go. And it did. I just want to pick the right statuses here. It's going to search for anything that is, just has that corner lot option. And as we add things to our search, it's going to automatically update and refresh. So we don't have a search, a final search button the system's just going to continue to do that as we move forward. Also within a search is the map information, or in the map search. So you can, search with a rectangle, you can search with a radius tool, and all of those, when you add them in, it's going to add it up here at the top under shape. And so you can change the colors of those. You can rename those however you see fit. So we have the square. One of the tools that I think is kind of cool is the radius search. So if I just click on the radius tool, I'm going to click in where I want the center of my circle to be. I can drag out and, pick the distance. Let's say I want about 6 miles, click in there, and it'll search that area. I can click again, put in another circle, and then if I want to, in our search criteria over here, where it says shape within, I can click there. It'll change that to the intersection point of those shapes. So I can just search, where those shapes are intersecting, or I can click again and say, I don't want anything within those shapes. I want to search anything outside of those shapes. So that's a unique feature as well. And then of course the polygon search, where you can kind of create your own shape. And as you're using this, one of the things that, and I will admit it, and it's slightly embarrassing to admit, but the first day that I used Flex, I had no idea how to end the polygon search. I was done with my shape and I wanted to move on. As it turns out, so I called into the Flex support to figure out how to end that. And you just have to double click. So if you're ever stuck, just double click and that will end it for you. So that's a nice search option as well. Any questions on searching? All right. So getting more into our results, everything is kind of tabbed up here at the top. So I'm just going to expand on the information that we've already searched. So that first tab is our edit search, which is where you'll start on a quick search. The next option is list, which is going to bring up a list of all of those search results. You as a user can go in and customize how this will look. We have a default setup on how that would look for you, but we have several different options, and you can go in. We won't get into it today on how to kind of create your own look, but that's something we'll certainly cover later on as we work into the system a little bit more. Just accessing any of these listings, you can double click. At least you should be able to double click. Maybe you can't double click. It wasn't letting me double click. It used to let you double click. But again, just tabbing over, you can click on detail. That's going to bring up your property detail information. And then from there, at the top of every listing, we have the options for things like our realist tax info. You can look at the history of the property. Has it been listed in the MLS before? You can kind of see the changes. How long was it on the market? What were the changes that were made as far as pricing? And we have data from our system that goes back, I want to say, to the mid 90s. And so there's a significant amount of history within our system for our area. The realist tax info, if I click on that, that's actually a third-party integration that we have, and that's going to bring up all of the property tax information specific to that property. And this is a mix of information from the municipality, and then there's also, MLS information in there as well. And if there's information that is being said it's MLS information, it's going to tell you right here that it's, this information is from the MLS. So that way you kind of know where exactly it's coming from. We have information on tax amounts. Information is going to be a little bit different based on the municipality that we get it from. Not every municipality sends us the same amount of information as others, but we found that Realist is able to provide most of the information that our users are looking for. We have previous sale information. We have even down to mortgage history. So here we have going back to 2001 for this property. Going back into Flex, we have a couple options. Neighborhood profile, that's another thing that's coming from Realist. We have documents. So this is going to show any information that would be in there, to be viewed by you as an agent. We have, listing contracts that are in here. One thing I'll point out about that is listing contracts. You can kind of see the permissions on this field, on these documents. And that basically shows who can view that. So public is going to be something that can be sent out, through an IDX feed. So, if it's going out to your website as an agent, it can go public. If it's labeled for all realtors, that's going to be something that's available to anyone who's able to log into our system and view. And then there's things like listing contracts, and those are going to be primarily available to the broker and the MLS staff, as well as the listing agent. So you would not see other agents listing contracts in here. The only reason that they're showing up here is just because I'm one of the MLS administrators. We have quick access into showing time. It's been a while since I've logged into showing time, so it's probably going to ask me to update my information there. You guys obviously know showing time, so I won't get into that. Some other information that we can do. So we do have integrations with Dotloop and Zip Forms, so we can quick launch all of this information into either of those systems if we're looking to write up an offer. We have an integration with Market Stats, which I know many of you are probably familiar with. Then we have this property map. That's something that's provided through Realist along with the property tax information. And then we also have a third-party single sign-on into RPR, so we can go into that system for more information on the property as well. The next tab over is going to go into photos, and so I won't get into that too much. This one doesn't have anything as far as if there was so we have Flow Plan, which is an app that FBS has put out, which allows you as an agent to use your cell phone to create a floor plan of the property. And so if this house had a flow plan on it, it would actually be showing up in the second photo position. That's also where any virtual tours would show up as well, and any videos. So those kind of show up in the second position after that primary photo. Next tab over is just going to be a map showing you where the location of it is. You can compare this to other properties that you might want to click on and search. And then you can also have, if you're working with a client, specific about this property, you can click on messages, and that would show you, what communications you've had back and forth with that client. If you wanted to share information about this, we have direct shares to Facebook through email, Twitter, and then you can just get a link to share on, whatever social media you might use. If you want to email this listing information over, and I just want to get back to my report, you can email that over. We have an interactive version, which would kind of give you the look of, maybe your website. I kind of say it's the Zillow look, where it's a little bit more interactive to look around at things. I can save this information specific from this property. I can save the search that I've created. So if I always want to be able to have a search for, I think the criteria on this was just looking for corner lots, I could save the search, and this could be my corner lot search. And then I can add it specific to a contact, and I can set up a subscription to go from there as well. So I can add this as corner lot. I want to, set this from an existing contact. So I'm going to set this as Buster Bluth. If any of you have seen Arrested Development, that's where I get all of my contacts from. And so I can set this up as how often do we want to, do this. I'll save and add a subscription. And then that's where I'll pick how often an email might go out to this contact. As far as if I want it to go out every day, I want to say the emails go out at about 10 a.m. So if there's something that comes in at 10:02 a.m., it's actually going to wait until the very next day at 10 a.m. to go out. I can set this to go out monthly, first day of the month, second day of the month, whatever it is, or as soon as possible. So as soon as something hits the MLS, it can be going out to your client. The next thing in here is just setting up that email that you have as part of the subscription, setting up the subject, and then the email body as well. One thing I do like to point out there is anything you put in this email body is going to go out every single time a subscription notice goes out to your client. So if you just met with your client and you said, hey, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, that's what's going to go out every single day. So you kind of just want to aim that to be something that's a little bit more of a generic email. Any questions on searching reports or setting up a saved search contact subscription? I know we're going through things very quickly, but.
Yeah, I had a question, and you may have answered it, but when you were doing the search, do you have to click, can you click on all boards? Like you have Real Comp and you have whatever.
Yeah, you absolutely. So you can go ahead and click on all of those. But one of the problems that we have with that is we don't all share the same fields. So the only fields that you're going to be able to see are those fields that we have that are the same. And I can see what all of those are if I, click on this option right here, just the searchable field, and you can see that there's not a lot that we share. And so, like I said, through the RISO compliance that all of us are working towards, eventually this list is going to expand quite significantly. And there's some that we have a greater ability to search. So like right now between us and Real Comp, I want to say that we actually have a little bit more than we do with, let's say Lansing right now. And Lansing, I know that they've been working towards their compliance. We've been working towards ours. So that, a year ago, this would have been a very different list than it is now. And a year from now, it'll look very different and there'll be a lot more information as well. So we're all working towards that kind of as a real estate community, which I think is great for everyone. All right, well, the next thing I'll get into is the contact management. So under the menu contacts header, first option here is that contact management, just because this is an area that you as an agent would work in probably pretty significantly. I am not an agent, and so I don't send out anything to contacts, but a couple of contacts that I just have in here, we'll just quick go over. You can quickly add in contacts, and this is all stuff you can, view most of it through the mobile application as well. And I won't get into the mobile application too much, but you all do have access to that mobile app. So if you go on to the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, you can just search for Flexmls Pro, and there's two different applications. There's Flexmls application, and that's going to be more for your client. And then there's the Flexmls Pro app, and that Flexmls Pro app is going to be for you as an agent. I know with the name Pro in there, we're all kind of used to that being something that we have to pay for, but it is a free application. And all you have to do is just put in your same credentials. So it'll be that RIC dot and then your login name, and then it'll also be the same password as well to get into there. And so within this contact management, we have, we can quickly edit contacts, as far as, phone numbers, anything like that, reverse prospecting, having that enabled. We do have the ability to see the activity. So if I had information that was being sent out to this client, I could kind of see, you know, what all are they viewing? How much are they viewing? I'm sending them, you know, 30 listings a day. How many listings are they looking at? I can look at any active searches or subscriptions that I have set up for them. And in this case, like I said, I don't have really anything set up for them. I can add new things in there. I can view and see, you know, what may have gone out, you know, what's new over the last 24 hours as part of a saved search that I have for them that they will have received. And from there, I can click on that and see exactly what it is that they're seeing from me. Get back here. We also have the user portal as well. And so they have the ability to go in and they can do a search from their user portal. I won't get into that too much today because that can be a lot to go through, but you as an agent would be able to basically go in and see what your client is searching for. So maybe you set up a subscription that was, you know, for something that's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, but you can see that your client maybe has expanded their search a little bit. And from there, from the client portal, they can actually, you know, message with you back and forth. They can say, you know, save favorite listings, and you'll be able to see those favorite listings and, you know, follow up with them on that. The next thing is going to be messages. Any messages that you've had back and forth with that client, you can view from here. You can make notes in there as well. And then any listing notes that you've made specific to a listing will show up there. Option for more, any links that, you know, may have been tied specifically to that contact. And then if you eventually, you know, maybe need to transfer this contact over to someone else in your office, you can easily transfer them over, and then that will transfer over not only their contact information, but it'll transfer over their quick search and any subscriptions that have been set up in the past. I know that's a very quick overview of the contact management section, but are there any questions on that?
Nathan, do you know if the contacts are going to transfer from Paragon?
So I know as of right now, we're planning on bringing all of the contact information, saved searches, and subscriptions over. We have yet to hear if that's something that we will definitely be able to do. I know Flex will be working with Paragon to try and get that done. In the worst case scenario, what will happen is we will be able to pull in all of the information as of who the contacts were, and then what subscriptions they had set up, what saved searches that they had set up, and that all will be viewed in the notes so that you can go back in. But our end goal is to have it as a seamless setup so that you can, so that, you know, day one, all of those saved searches will be there, all of those subscriptions will be there. The subscriptions won't be enabled at that point because, you know, starting in July, you'll still be on the Paragon system, but eventually you will be able to go in and just flip the switch to enable those subscriptions to continue to go out.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then the next thing I'll do, just very briefly, excuse me, is I'll go back to my home page here. As I just wanted to give you a very quick overview of Realist, which is our property tax system. So I can just pick that. It's a single sign-on, so there's no separate username or password that you have to use. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Realist system. This is something that I know some neighboring organizations use it. We basically just use this as our property tax information database. So we can actually pull information from Realist into the Flex system if you're going in to add a listing, which is very beneficial, saves on some input time. And we have information for every parcel within the state of Michigan. So you can search any county in any city. And so right now I'll just go ahead and pick, let's see here. I am, let's do Eaton County. And so I'll just pick Eaton County. We can search, there's two different search options, quick search as far as address. You can do an owner name, whether that be a corporate entity or just a last name. You can search by MLS number or property tax ID. And actually, if I do this, it's not going to be specific to just Eaton County. This will actually, through quick search, it will actually search all of the available data within the state. And then the next option we have is the My Search, which is a little bit more of a detailed search. And that is the search that's going to be tied specifically to whatever county is selected. In that county selection, we can pick up to 8 counties to search at one time. And then when we select those, we'll actually see right here the recording date. So when was the last time that we received information from the county? And so when was the last time that information was updated? So for Eaton County, we can see it was the 21st of January. For Emmett County, it was, the 27th of January. Dickinson County, we can see that it was a little bit later. And this is actually a very, we typically see updates that are, usually about every 3 months is when we're seeing those updates. So that one's very out of date, and I'm going to check on that one because we typically don't see anything quite that old. So like I said, you can pick up to 8 counties and search all of those. Additionally, you have all the abilities to do a map search. So if you want to, do a sort of a polygon search for, just some properties around here, we can do that. And that one, to finish off, you just click on where you started, and it's going to search anything within there, within your criteria. I'm going to go ahead and just say search. And it's going to show all of the information there. And so this is actually tied in with some of our MLS data. So, and because this is the Jackson area, we don't have a ton of information out your way right now. Obviously, we'll be working to get all of that in there, but this red icon here, we can see that that was, maybe a recently closed sale that happened. If I double click on that, it should be bringing up information. Click on my reports here. And so I won't get into so much of the detail. I do like to point out that we have the property dimensions on here as part of that, which is a very nice feature. And then some of the assessments, tax information in there, information on comparables, other comparable properties, market trends that might be useful for that area, information on neighbors, the neighborhood profile. If we are able to get an assessor's map, that will show up in there. And then I do like to point out the flood map as well. I think that's a very cool feature within Realist that I know our agents have found very useful. I won't get into too much more of Realist. We'll do some more training on that in the coming months, but that's pretty much what I have for you all today. Just a very, very quick overview of our system. Does anyone have any questions?
I do have one quick question.
Yeah.
Back on in the search, I noticed a button that said working for, or working on behalf of. So one of my roles is I'm the transaction coordinator for a team. So I regularly have to get in and work under the MLS for some of the guys, add searches, things like that. Is that what that is? Is that function available?
So that work on behalf of is going to be more geared towards one of your contacts. So if I'm working specifically on, a contact for, or you're searching for, one of my contacts, that's going to be that. But as far as kind of the super user function that you were talking about, that's kind of how we have it called. That is up here. Upper right corner, you can see mine shows NA as NA. So I'm Nathan Andrus working as Nathan Andrus. And I can actually go in and change that. And so let's say I want to work as someone else. I'm trying to think of someone, we obviously all have kind of some odd names. I can go ahead and put that username in there. I can also click on change user and it'll show the list of users that I have available. I can click on use, and then it's going to log me in as that individual so I can work under that account.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. All right, awesome.
Any other questions?
Nathan, does the MLS staff have to set up the access to the other agents for that particular person?
Yes.
Okay. So
Well,
the
if you go ahead.
so the current ones we have set up, we can give to you ahead of time so that when we convert, they're all
Yep,
set up.
absolutely.
Okay, very good.
Well, if you guys do have any questions as you're going in the system, please don't hesitate to reach out. Like I said, we'll be sending an email here within the next 24 hours, which will include a recording of this video. My contact information will be included in that. Anton's will be included in that as well. So any questions that you have, don't hesitate to reach out. And like I said, you guys have full access to the Flex MLS support that's available. Feel free to email them, call in, whatever it is. They're happy to provide any training that you would like to have. I'm happy to provide any of that training. So if there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. So one quick question, what is our next step as us for our conversion task force? What should we be anticipating? What are our next kind of?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's been 20 some years since, we have a new MLS. So
Yep. Yeah, so right now we're kind of analyzing all of the data that's being brought in and still kind of mapping to figure out, kind of what of your fields fits within our fields. And so my guess is probably within the next month, we are going to have a list of fields that we're like, okay, this could, what would you like us to do with these fields? Is where would you, best see them mapped? And so over the next month, we will get that list together, and we'll bring that to Melissa and Kelly. I'm sure they'll want to rope you all in on some of that. And so there's, as of right now, there's no action items that you have. Ultimately, we want you guys to get into the system, to just kind of get in there, use it, get to know a little bit better, so that when it does come time for us to say, okay, we have your information in there, go in, confirm that things are correct, start getting used to that. So you're feeling a little bit more comfortable at that point in time. And then of course, more comfortable as we look to launch here in July as well. But over the next month, really, this is a get in there, play around. There's nothing that you can break. Just kind of get to know it, get the feel of it. And then here within the next month, we'll get a list of stuff and bring it all over to you guys.
great. All right. Well, yeah, as soon as if you get this recording to us, then we can obviously share it with the others that are on the task force that were unable to make it. So
Yes, absolutely.
get them up to speed as well.
Anton, it looks like you're talking, but I'm not hearing anything.
I see it, but I can't hear it.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Perfect. So yeah, Missy, if you want to work and we want to work to set up another meeting with Nathan, just like this, maybe after you guys have questions or concerns, maybe we consolidate that. And if we want to do I guess more advanced as well, we can work to set up another meeting with Nathan. We can do that anytime, really. It doesn't have to be with the whole full group, but if there's those that want to get more advanced in the Flex system, I mean, I think ideally what we're hoping to do with the group is have you guys be the most knowledgeable about Flex, and that way you can take it back to your group so you guys can teach them and help them use it. So
Absolutely.
if we want to do that as well, if we want to do that in the next couple of weeks, maybe give you guys some time to go in the system and then go from there.
I would like that.
Okay.
And then that way we could, again, like this, record it. So even if the others aren't able to, it gives them some point of reference to do it on their own leisure.
Okay. Yeah, and we, Melissa, Kelly, Nathan, and I all have a weekly meeting set up, and we meet every week, so we can discuss that and potential dates of what we think is best, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll throw that out there and then work to get another meeting scheduled.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Yes, we want you guys to be, pardon my pun, the flexperts of the.
We do too, especially if we're
I'll
going
try
to
to
hit the
cut back on the
ground.
puns.
If we're going to hit the ground running in August, which is a busy time in real estate because,
yeah.
you know, school's getting started and all of that, we would like to make it as seamless as possible, not only for our agents, you know, for people like me in my office, but that way you're not getting bombarded with 378 phone calls on day one going, how do I log in?
Yep.
You know, just so that people have kind of that person in their office to, you know, that's the flexpert to go to.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I hear the ocean, Kelly.
Sorry.
It's making it feel warmer up here.
When it's 9 here, that sounds good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least it doesn't sound like the hurricane shutters are still going, so they might have a break.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions before we go? Great. Well, I've been in this system for a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've only had to call Nathan once for help. And he was great to get, you know, quickly responded back to me. I sent him a quick email and he came back very quickly and walked me through different things of setting up searches and how it is done in that system. So it was relatively easy, and I use myself as a guinea pig on it to see how it comes across through there. So yeah, it is nice. I'm looking to get a little bit more experienced in it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we will. If you guys have any dates in mind that you want to set up as far as, you know, any future training, anything that would be specific into maybe one portion of Flex, you know, certainly get that information over to myself, over to Melissa, over to Kelly, and we can get that training set up.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I wouldn't want to go too long because then I think if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
But yeah, we'll get with Melissa and Kelly, maybe set up a time, even, you know, maybe even have small little ongoing ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to make it so that when it's a more successful launch for everyone. Obviously, that's what our end goal is through all of this.
And Missy, if it's helpful, I'm just throwing this out there, but if we want to expand, we'll have to talk with Melissa about it, but if we want to expand the group a little bit as well, as far as who can attend the trainings and whatnot, we're more than happy to do that as well.
Well, we're missing about half the people.
Okay.
So, I mean, we did a pretty good job of kind of getting almost someone from every-ish company.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we can always definitely expand, you know, if there's a couple others.
Yeah.
That we
Or
can
sending
add.
out the recording, that's fine too. I'm sure that's helpful as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Great.
well, thank you.
Well, thank you all. I appreciate you all
Thank you
taking
all.
the time today.
And let us know if you have any questions.
Absolutely. Enjoy the
Perfect.
nice cold weather. Kelly, enjoy the nice warm weather.
Go put some sunblock on.
Yeah. And then take some of that and ship it up to all of us.
Right, yeah.
It's supposed to be nicer for you guys next week, right?
I
Yeah,
hope so.
42.
Supposed
Oh,
to be.
40s. That sounds
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. People have shorts on.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much.